Well, hello everyone and welcome back. This week I'm going to quickly demonstrate how I edited this image of the mute swan flying through the rainbow. The trick to this edit was keeping the mute swan in isolation to the actual rainbow itself. So if we go into Lightroom, this was the original image and it doesn't actually look as colourful as when I look through the viewfinder. You can see actually I took this on the 20th of December 2018 with my old D500. Anyway, so the first thing we need to do is import this into Photoshop. What I'm going to do is just a quick auto brighten and open the image. The next thing to do is just create a layer with Control or Command J. And now we want to create a selection. So if we create a selection, select a mask. Now I'm going to speed this up and I'll come back to you once I've actually done the selection. So just bear with me. So when we have our selection, we need a new layer and layer mask. So now we have our layer and our layer mask. So what I want to do next is I want to actually isolate the bird. So I'm going to take the mute swan off the background layer. So Command or Control click to highlight it, go up to Select, Modify, Expand, 6 pixels, OK, Edit, Fill, Content Aware Fill, Opacity 100%, Normal, click OK. So that's filled. Now we can deselect, Control or Command D. Let's just check the background. There we are. The mute swan is now gone. So the first thing I'm going to do now that I've taken the mute swan off the background is I'm going to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and I'm just going to denoise the background. Now it doesn't need a great deal, so I'm going to bring it down to about 4.5 pixels just to take the noise out of the background. Click OK. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put an adjustment layer over the top, and that's going to be a curves adjustment layer. I'm going to clip it to the layer below. I'm just going to lift the midtones just a little bit, not too much. Then I'm going to go into the red channel and I'm going to drop to create the blues, and then I'm going to lift the reds like so. And now you can see that it's totally enhanced the reds and has brought the purples out, and indeed has brightened the yellows as well. Now let's put the bird back on. You can see that's looking really good. I'm now going to put a curves adjustment layer and clip it over the mute swan. Now I'm just going to raise the whites just a tad by taking the midtones up. So I think we're more or less there. So I'm going to create now a combined layer. So in order to do that, you highlight all our layers down to the background, copy to, press Command or Control, Option Shift E, and that gives us a layer with all our edits done to it. right click, convert that into a smart object, go to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. Okay, so now we can just do some subtle edits. So just lift those shadows on the mute. Let's have a look at the whites. Just raise the whites until we get to a point that is just beginning to show. Blacks. Lower the blacks a bit for a bit more contrast. Touch of clarity and of texture. Let's just sharpen that a tad, so we'll take that up to 20. Let's just check the masking to take out any noise in the Swan. There we go. Perfect. Color mixer. Right, so we can do now a few slight adjustments. So let's bring that yellow up a little bit. And let's just bring the greens up a little bit too. And the blues. Aqua and the magenta. Let's check the luminance and just brighten each one up just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Right, let's go back to basic. That's a bit bright now, so let's just drop those highlights down a little bit. Okay. And there we have our color corrections. So all I need to do now is to crop it. And that is how I edited the image. You can see now the background has had the noise taken away. The bird has had the noise taken away from his underside and underside of its wings. And the colours have been enhanced. And that's it. That was how I edited the Swan flying through the rainbow. If we just compare it with the earlier version, I mean, I could crop it a bit more just to give it the same ratio. That's 16:9. And when we can compare it to the one I did earlier. So that's the one I did earlier, and that's the one we've just done. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a very quick tutorial. That's how I edited the Swan flying through the rainbow. See you next time. Bye.